Welcome to Motoring Today, the Philippines' premier and longest-running weekly motor news and features TV and online magazine. I'm Ray Louie Gamboa.
And I'm Susie Gamboa. Here are this week's features to watch out for.
On Motoring Forum, we shall discuss the significance of EDSA's traffic volume going down, our road safety reminder, the Young Street Smart Sports and Centers on what to do when one encounters a double solid yellow line. Well, for race weekend, we'll have the highlights of the 2022 Manila Sports Car Club Beyond Spec Series Round 1.
All these plus the latest news in transportation and traffic management, as well as developments in the automotive industry, are on this week's edition of Motoring Today. Join us.
Ambition. It's not a destination, nor a finish line. It's what you keep racing towards, to push, to the extremes, to race, race, race. That's when you find the limit. That's our ambition, so you too can race yours.
Suzuki Ertiga.
Life is beating fast. Find what you're waiting for.
Seven-seater in style.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. Here now are the latest news and developments in the country's transportation and traffic management. The MMDA believes it's high time for e-scooter and e-bike riders to be regulated and made to obey traffic regulations.
E-scooters are becoming more popular. Once as just one ride for leisure activities, they are now being used more and more for commutes to work. However, motorists are complaining that e-scooter and e-bike riders are not only a danger to themselves but also to others on major thoroughfares. Many riders don't think traffic rules and regulations apply to them, going against the flow of traffic and ignoring traffic signals or signs. The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority is moving to enforce regulations on the use of e-scooters and e-bikes. Victor Nunez, head of the MMDA's Traffic Discipline Office for Enforcement, said in a television interview that e-bikes and e-scooters must be limited to bicycle lanes and barangay roads. Nunez added that e-bike and e-scooter riders must always give right-of-way to incoming traffic and must not be allowed in the middle of major thoroughfares. He cited a Land Transportation Office administrative order that requires e-scooters and e-bikes with a maximum speed capacity of 50 km per hour to be registered with the agency. E-bikes and e-scooter riders also need to be licensed. These regulations came into effect in May of 2021, but Nunez said the MMDA chose to be lenient and not strictly enforce it because public transportation services were operating under capacity restrictions at the time. But with traffic volume returning to pre-pandemic levels, MMDA is reaching out to local governments of Metro Manila and other concerned agencies to discuss guidelines for implementing LTO regulations covering e-bikes and e-scooters.
Authorities should begin to implement rules and regulations to ensure the safety of everyone, motorists and users of e-bikes and e-scooters alike, on the road. Meanwhile, if you're not in a hurry, you can now take a long bus ride from Paranaque in Metro Manila to Davao and back.
Davao Metro Shuttle has launched a new bus service that will ferry passengers from the Paranaque Integrated Terminal Exchange, or Pitx, all the way to Davao and vice versa. Beginning June 15, Davao Metro Shuttle bus bound for Davao departs from Pitx at 2:30 p.m. daily. The Davao to Pitx service will begin on June 20. One-way bus fare will cost 3,680 pesos inclusive 2 roll-on, roll-off ferry rides for inter-island travel. Passenger and the Metro bus shuttle should expect the bus ride to take 3 days and 2 nights, with the following stops between the Pitx and Davao at Turbina, Santo Tomas, Laguna, Quirino Meal Place, Naga Terminal, Sorsogon, Matnog, Alan Samar, Tacloban, Sogon, Sorsogon Leyte, Liloan, Surigao, Kitcharao, Butuan, San Francisco, Moncayo, and Taguig. The Davao Metro Shuttle service will have a fleet of 15 Volvo B8R bus units fitted with wide reclining leather seats with individual USB ports for charging. Toilets are provided at the rear of the bus. Land Transportation, Franchising, and Regulatory Board Executive Director Tina Cashon believes there is a market for the long bus service linking Metro Manila to Davao. The Metro bus service should attract passengers with luggage and freight that could prove expensive when traveling by plane.
Is there really a market or demand for the 3-day, 2-night bus service from Metro Manila to Davao? We should be finding out soon. Continuing, the government fuel subsidy program may be helping out a lot of PUV drivers and operators. But what about the drivers of PUVs without franchises or the colorums?
Newly elected Quezon 3rd District Representative Reynan Arrogancia wants colorum drivers to also benefit from the government's fuel subsidy program for PUV drivers and operators. Arrogancia suggested this could be done by implementing an amnesty program for colorum units or those without franchises. So their drivers and operators can also benefit from government programs aimed at helping them overcome effects of the pandemic as well as the spiraling cost of fuel. According to news reports, Arrogancia called on government to help owners of colorum transport units get legalized so they can be part of the Pagtawid Pasada fuel subsidy, the PUV modernization program, the Libreng Sakay service contracting program, and the Boundary Hulog program. The amnesty program can start with colorum public utility vehicles and UV Express units in the Calabarzon region, Central Luzon, and the National Capital Region. Arrogancia urged the Department of Labor and Employment to register PUV drivers and operators in the Tulong Panghanap Buhay sa Ating Disadvantaged Displaced Workers and the COVID-19 Adjustment Measures Program cash aid programs. The legislator also suggested that DOT present other options for the colorum operators aside from immediately joining big cooperatives or corporations, keeping in mind that many PUV operators are used to doing things on their own. He proposed they be allowed to form small joint ventures among 3 to 5 operators and be eligible for the incentive and fuel subsidy programs.
The new representative's suggestion about helping out drivers and operators of colorum units deserves some looking into. It may just succeed in getting colorum operators to get legit and join the programs. And finally, the MMDA continues to look out for the needs of cyclists and motorcycle riders, especially on EDSA.
The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority has set up another emergency repair station for motorcycle riders and cyclists on EDSA. The new EDSA Emergency Repair Center for two-wheelers can be found at the ground level of the Quezon Avenue on EDSA and is open from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. This makes it 3 repair stations on EDSA aside from 1 along Voss Boulevard. MMDA Chairman Romando Artes said the emergency repair station is equipped with basic repair and vulcanizing tools and is manned by well-trained personnel who will help riders whose bikes and motorcycles break down. He said the MMDA plans to establish more emergency repair stations on roads that motorcycle and bike riders using great numbers. The MMDA wants to provide free space and assistance for emergency repairs instead of immediately towing vehicles, which break down on major thoroughfares. Artes also said MMDA will continue to push to have elevated bike lanes and walkways while studying proposals and holding consultations on whether to establish dedicated lanes for motorcycle along major thoroughfares.
Perhaps motorcycle riders and cyclists can return the favor the MMDA continues to provide them by being more disciplined on the road. And those are the latest news and developments in transportation and traffic management. Coming up next is Motoring Forum, brought to you by Suzuki Philippines. The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority noted a significant drop in the daily volume of traffic on EDSA. Motoring Forum discusses the possible significance of this development, the probable cause of the drop, and implications for motoring and commuting.
On June 9, the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority recorded the volume of traffic passing through EDSA at 392,000 vehicles. The MMDA said this was a significant drop from the 417 vehicles it recorded passing through EDSA on May 5, just a month past. While motorists are still complaining that traffic on EDSA continues to be horrible, MMDA Chairman Romando Artes maintains traffic flow has improved, pointing out that the numbers are even lower pre-pandemic levels. Artes believes a huge drop in vehicles passing EDSA is due to more people now choosing to take public transport rather than using their cars and going to work or for running errands. He indicated that this is in turn because of the continuous rise in fuel prices. More and more car owners may be finding out commuting to work is no longer economical. But if Artes' observations are accurate, some are asking, can Metro Manila's public transport network meet the additional demand? Already, there is pressure from transport operators for authorities to raise fares even when government providing fuel subsidies and other incentive programs to enable them to continue operating like the service contracting program. And already many public utility jeepney drivers and operators are saying that they will be forced to stop plying their routes if nothing is done about the continued astronomical rise in the cost of diesel. Commuters are also pressuring government to control the rise in fuel prices. The United Filipino Consumers and Commuters are calling on the government to implement policies to lower the prices of petroleum products, including the immediate suspension of the 12% value-added tax. UFCCA President RJ Avellana said petroleum products are heavily taxed, including import and other local taxes, and all these are passed on to the customers. The incoming president himself, Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., himself has aired the possibility of temporarily suspending the excise tax on fuel products. However, the National Economic and Development Authority does not seem amenable to suspending taxes on petroleum products. NEDA Secretary Carl Chua was reported to have said that suspending taxes on petroleum will only benefit the rich. The top 10% of Filipino families consume half of the fuel products because they have their own cars, Chua said. He also maintained that government is helping commuters by subsidizing PUV operators so that they don't need to raise fares.
There is no doubt that the continued increase in fuel prices, both diesel and gasoline, is affecting motoring and commuting as well as the entire economy. Authorities are now struggling to mitigate the negative effects of the unbridled rise in the cost of fuel while balancing the interests of the economy, private motorists, and the needs of the commuting public. That's our Motoring Forum this week, courtesy of Suzuki Philippines.
Ambition. It's not a destination, nor a finish line. It's what you keep racing towards. To push. To the extremes. To race. 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 That's when you find the limit. That's our ambition. So you too can race yours.
You're back with us here on Motoring Today. We now have this week's valuable motoring tips, starting off with some road safety reminders from Toyota Motor Philippines. Kadalasang makikita ang double solid yellow line sa mga tulay. Ang ibig sabihin nito ay bawal kang mag-overtake sa kahit anong oras dahil maaari kang maaksidente katulad ng ipinapakita sa animation. Roads that have double solid yellow lines are often busy, so be a responsible driver at huwag mag-overtake. Continuing with this week's edition of Motoring Today, let's now focus on proper driver's demeanor, especially for those driving PUVs. Payang Chopper is next.
Payong stopper lang kaibigan, ako si Alejandro Patosa, isang kapwa nyo stopper. Huwag kalimutang magsuot ng seatbelt sa tuwing kayo ay papasada.
Gawing prioridad ang kaligtasan habang namamasada sa pamamagitan ng pagsusuot ng seatbelt. Siguraduhin maayos at gumagana ang iyong seatbelt bago mamasada. Huwag mo rin kalimutang paalalahanan ang pasahero na nakaupo sa harap na magsuot ng seatbelt.
Tandaan ang paggamit ng seatbelt ay isang epektibong pamamaraan upang manatiling ligtas sa oras na anumang aksidente. Ito po si Alejandro Patosa, payong chopper lang kaibigan mula sa isang kapwa nyo chopper.
ambition. It's not a destination, nor a finish line. It's what you keep racing towards, to push, to the extremes, to race, race, race. That's when you find the limit. That's our ambition, so you too can race yours.
When we do what we love and love what we do, work is play. Ford Ranger. Live the Ranger life.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. World of Motorsports is next.
In motorsports news, the inaugural season of the Manila Sports Car Club Miata Spec Series flagged off at the Clark International Speedway, with Alan Uy recording the first victory. Driving car number 99, Uy handily won race 1, crossing the finish line more than 4 seconds ahead of Paul Henderson Perez in car number 77. Joining Uy and Henderson on the first ever podium of the one-make series using identically prepped Miata MX-5s was Angie King in car number 12. Uy also won race 2 but was chased hard by King, who finished just a little over 2 seconds behind the winner, with June Toralba coming in third on board car number 8. Uy also set the fastest lap around the 4.189km Clark circuit in round 1 with a time of 2 minutes, 19.125 seconds, and an average speed of 108.679 kph. The series continues on August 27 for races 3 and 4 at the same Clark venue. In other motorsports news, round 2 of the 2022 Philippine Rallycross Series saw more rallycross enthusiasts coming to compete and spectate at the Clark Global City venue of the competition. After a hot and dusty day of turning up the dirt on the rallycross course, Noli Tino emerged quickest in Group 1, with Troy Mabuna ending up second ahead of JP Polintan in third. Group 2 saw Piwi Mendiola besting Paul Santos for first place, with JP Polintan also ending up third. Piwi Mendiola made an embrace of wins in round 2, setting the fastest cumulative time in Group 3, dropping Borek Falyon down to second and Marjan J. Susara salvaging third. Paulo Santos finally took top honor, setting the fastest cumulative wrap in Group 4, relegating P. Mendiola to second place and Borek Falyorin to third. Patrick Nang dominated the open class with cumulative time from 2 of 3 runs that was around 8 seconds faster than that of second place Paulo Santos. DJ de Guzman was a far third in the class. Monty Mapilis won a fierce duel with Dewey Camacho to rule the UV class. Again, it was DJ de Guzman who ended up third. Dewey Camacho turned the tables on Monty Mapilis in the pickup class, earning top honors and relegating his rival to second. Jason Howell turned in the third quickest cumulative time in the class. Paulo Santos also had a brace of wins in round 2 after ruling the AWD class, relegating Patrick Nang and Louis Camacho down to second and third respectively. Easy Ligaya topped the RWD class with Paul Villarte in second and Martin Galan in third.
More on the world of motorsports here on Motoring Today, as we now give you Race Weekend. Another one-make series has just flagged off. The Manila Motorsports Club Miata Spec Series debuted with round 1 at the Clark International Speedway with some hot racing. And it was not only about the track temperatures.
MSCC is the oldest sports car club in the country. It's been since 1967, and racing goes way back then. Manila Sports Car Club was involved in historic racing using historic sports cars. Recently, prior to the pandemic, we were negotiating for a tie-up with Mazda, Shell, to establish the Spec Miata series. So, unfortunately, the pandemic hit, so now move back siya. So this is the first race of the Mazda, MSCC, Shell, Spec Miata. Basically, the cars were developed by Mazda itself. So when they hand over the cars, as is na yan. So the only thing you can really do with the cars is modify a little bit of the alignment, then your tire pressure, how you drive it. But basically, it's all the same. So it really falls down into the driver's skill. with this kind of cars that all of the power are equal, so it's really the same. What differs na lang is the weight of the driver. Like myself, I'm a heavyweight driver. The strategy is different than those who are lightweight. But basically, it really falls down to skill. So I was able to, overtake some drivers which are lighter than myself. So basically, it's the fun of racing against each other.
This one is organized by the Manila Sports Car Club in conjunction with Mazda Philippines, headed by Steven Tan. Basically, objective is having the same car, same specs. So basically, it's just the driver na lang. All the cars are equally built the same. With the Miata Cup, I think I finished third this morning and first today. With Miata Spec, I finished fifth this morning, and I'll be racing probably in a few minutes. I'll try to do better than fifth, hopefully in the podium, top 3.
I am here with the main man behind this successful MSCC Miata Spec Series, Mr. Steven Tan. Hi sir, and thank you for joining us.
Hey, thank you for coming in today. What a lovely day, right?
Yes sir, just for the benefit of the viewers, can you just tell us what exactly is the MSCC Miata Spec Series?
The MSCC Spec Miata Series is part of the global community of the Spec Series. The company run the Spec Series in like the US, Japan, and Europe, and we also decided that we should run a Spec Series here. For many good reasons. We have a very large population of Miata in Philippines. We are the most successful, the largest population of Miata in Asia outside Japan. And so it makes sense for us to start a series like this, and in collaboration with the Manila Sports Car Club, because they are the sports car club. And they've always wanted to run the race series, and they've always regarded the Miata very fondly as a two-door sports car.
I'm seeing the new Miata here and some classic Miatas. Can you tell us how that works? Is there a specific race for the classic Miatas and the new ones as well?
Right. So what you're looking here is the Spec Series, which means that it's a one-make Spec Series. These are 2021, 2022 Miata. They're all the same car. That's what makes them interesting, is where we remove the machine advantage so that all the cars are identical. They're all built up with very high-quality parts from Cusco, which is known globally worldwide, and Sparkle. Those are the vendors and suppliers that we work with to build this car. In fact, Cusco developed a coilover just for this series so that the car can run beautifully on the track and also very nice to drive on the road. So this is quite a unique formula. So the cars are legal on the road, but they can come on the track and they become like track weapons. The other series we're running today is the Miata Cup. Miata Cup belongs to the Miata Club Philippines. They've been running the Miata Cup for 15 years now. So it's a very long-standing race that they come in here like a few times a year and they run. So for this year, we wanted to put them both together, but on a different grid. That means they run back to back. We'll run a Spec first, and then a Miata Cup, and then a Spec with Miata Cup. Once in the morning and once in the evening. They are championship points, except they're run with different clubs, but essentially, the same car.
Are you planning to run this like every year? And what can other people expect? Like people who want to join, if they own a Miata, can they join automatically, or do they have to join the club first? Can you tell us a little more about that?
Yeah, in both cases, you have to be a member. In fact, for this, let's take, for example, Miata Spec in MSCC. You have to be a member, and to be a member of both any of the club, you have to have a sports car. In the Miata Club Philippines, obviously a Miata, and in the sports car club, any sports car, but a Miata. So the Miata has to be built specifically for Ibai. We don't build the cars to sell. To be a Spec driver, a Spec owner, it's by kind of invitation or word of mouth that people who knows people. We like to keep it to be a club event. So we sometimes call it a gentleman's event, but it's more like an event where everybody know each other. We go on a track, we compete, we have fun, and they score point as a championship, and the sponsors comes in. So that's kind of the formula that I don't think you can go into the showroom and say I want to buy a Spec Miata, because they're not really to sell. But we will build a fixed number of cars. Like for example, for this year's race, we built 20 cars last year for this year's. We may build a few more for next year based on who wants to race. So we keep it very friendly, very tight, and very friendly atmosphere. that everybody know each other.
Lastly, sir, would you like to thank anyone or anyone in particular who made this event for you possible? And what is your final message to the viewers?
I would say the Miata Club Philippines and the Manila Sports Car Club has been like an amazing, not just partners, but amazing like collaborators in what this series is all about. Because at the end of the day, what we want to do is to promote enjoyment of the car driving. Not just on the road, but also on the track in a safe environment when we want to compete, right? And this event is also open for the public to come and watch. So they can come on a Saturday, which is a nice day Saturday, so that you can spend a day in Clark, go home, and then Sunday you have another day, family day to yourself. And Clark is a really nice place to go to. That's why we only run this race in Clark, and we only race it on Saturday, so that Sunday becomes a family day, so we don't take them away from the family. And we have 4 races. This is the very first one. The next one is going to be August, and then after that followed by October, and then November. And hopefully, if it runs really well, we'll repeat it again next year, and then a year after that, and maybe it'll keep going on. As long as we keep the formula fun, people like it. There's always a reason to keep doing this.
All right, that's it. Thank you very much, Mr. Stephen Tan, and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks very much. So come and watch.
The year 2022 is turning out to be quite a busy one for motorsports as almost all popular racing series have resumed. The inaugural Miata Spec Series is certainly an exciting and welcome addition to the local motorsports scene. And that's this week's World of Motorsports. We'll be back after this short break.
Introducing the all-new Isuzu D-Max into new heights.
Our car of the week is next on Showcase, courtesy of Prudential Guarantee.
Since it joined the local automotive market in 2018, GAC Motor Philippines has quickly grown its local lineup of vehicles to include sedans, MPVs, SUVs, and crossovers. Its entry into the subcompact crossover market is a GAC GS3. At 4,350mm long, 1,825mm wide, and 1,655mm tall, and with a 2,560mm long wheelbase, the GAC GS3 is among the longer, wider, and taller entries in the 5-seater subcompact segment. The GS3 can stand out in a crowd of crossovers with its distinctive grille with the large GAC logo front and center, the eagle-eye halogen headlamps, the unique rear LED combination lights that outline an infinity symbol when lit, as well as a floating roof design. Soft curves and sharp lines project both a sporty yet elegant persona that should appeal both to the young and youngish. GAC Motor offers 3 variants of the GS3 at 3 price points: the entry-level 1.5 Gas AT GS, the mid-level 1.5 AT Premier, and the top-of-the-line 1.3 Gas AT GE. They can be easily distinguished from each other by wheel and tire sizes. The entry-level comes with 16-inch rims and 65 series tires, the mid-level with 17-inch rims and 60 series tires, and the top-of-the-line with 18-inch rims and 55 series tires. The Premier and the 1.3 GE come with LED daytime running lights and front fog lamps. All have power adjustable side mirrors, but only the top-of-the-line 1.3 GE come with power folding as well as defogging and defrosting functions. Also distinguishing the 1.3 GE is the shark fin antenna. The top-of-the-line GS3 comes with smart keyless entry and one-button start. All three share the same dark and elegant interior motif, with lots of soft-touch surfaces in the leatherette trim steering wheel. They also share a 6-way adjustable driver's seat and 4-way adjustable front passenger seat. Both the two more expensive variants come with multifunction steering wheel. The Premier and the GE get leather and leatherette trim seats, while the entry-level GS3 feature fabric upholstery. The mid-level and top-of-the-line GS3 also feature front power windows, automatic air conditioning with negative ion air filter and second-row air vents, sun visors with illuminated vanity mirrors, and 12-volt power outlet in the cargo area. Only the top-of-the-line GS3 is equipped with folding center armrests with cup holders on the second-row seat. Only the two top variants feature an 8-inch TFT color screen display for the infotainment, Bluetooth hands-free phone system, rear row USB port, 6 speakers, as well as the cruise control. The entry-level GS3 only have your basic AM, FM, and MP3 WMA player with front USB port and 4 speakers. The 1.5 GS and the 1.5 Premier are powered by a 1,495cc gasoline engine that generates 113 horsepower and 150 Nm of torque. The 1.3G is powered by a 1,325cc turbocharged gasoline engine that generates 136 horsepower and 202 Nm of torque. All variants feature the all-new iSyn 6-speed automatic transmission that sends power to the front wheels, as well as an eco-drive mode to help save fuel. The GS3 also comes standard with front McPherson-type independent suspension, twisting beam suspension in the rear, and all-wheel disc brakes, ventilated in front and solid in the rear. It also comes with electric power steering. All GS3 variants offered locally share a lot of safety features as standard. These include dual front airbags, front row seatbelts with pre-tensioners and force limiters, ISOFIX child safety anchors, second row child safety door lock, impact sensing, door unlock. Also standard are passive and active safety features including electronic stability program, anti-lock brake system with electronic brake force distribution, traction control system, hydraulic brake assist, hill start hold control, and hill descent control. Both the Premier and the 1.3G are equipped with front side airbags, but only the top-of-the-line GS3 feature electronic parking brake with auto hold, as well as the tire pressure monitoring system.
Drive worry-free with Prudential Guarantee's auto insurance program with a free 24-hour nationwide roadside assistance included with your comprehensive auto insurance. Rest assured, we'll take care of you and your car wherever you are. Prudential Guarantee's auto insurance program, 100% worry-free driving.
Ambition. It's not a destination, nor a finish line. It's what you keep racing towards, to push, to the extremes, to race, race, race. That's when you find the limit. That's our ambition, so you too can race yours.
Suzuki Ertiga.
Life is beating fast. Find what you're waiting for.
Seven-seater in style.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. The auto industry now takes center stage.
The public got to see and learn how Mitsubishi cars can enhance their lives at the Life Caravan held from June 16 to 19 at the Glorieta Activity Center in Makati. The Life Caravan at Glorieta is the first of a series of roadshows Mitsubishi Motors Philippines is staging to showcase its vehicle lineup and to experience life made better, the brand's PH slogan. According to MMPC President Takeshi Hara, the slogan Life Made Better echoes Mitsubishi Motors' commitment to add value and further enrich lives of Filipinos. Caravan is the Hongo for caravan and signifies Mitsubishi's commitment to reach customers in all parts of the country.
Simply, first of all, in the center of the Glorieta, our valued customer and non-Mitsubishi customer also could see our vehicle. And vehicle and great display and how to use our vehicle for your great car ride. And that is the most important message from Mitsubishi. We have displayed all model lineup and some L300, Strada, and the Montero, our flagship, and G4 sedan. But especially for the new expander, we have just launched the new MPV, #1 model of small MPV.
If you haven't been to the first stop of the Life Caravan, then keep a watch on for when and where the second stop is happening. Auto Hub and SM celebrated not just Father's Day but Father's Week with a week-long motorcycle and auto festival at SM Mega Mall's Mega Fashion Hall. Auto Hub, the country's #1 multi-brand dealership network, and SM Mega Mall partnered to stage Dad's Mega Ride. Over the 7 days leading to Father's Day, Dad's Mega Ride showcased products and special promo offerings from Auto Hub's premier roster brands: Rolls-Royce, Shelby, Mini, Triumph Motorcycles, Vespa, Aprilia Scooters, Suzuki, Mitsubishi, Nissan, and Paint Hub.
Actually, the good thing is we have different programs for every model that we have, and I hope that the customers are going to be happy, especially now na the supply is in shortage, no? Demand is quite high because after 2 years of pandemic, ngayon lang bumibili ng kotse yung mga customers, no? So for Father's Day, we give these special programs also for fathers.
Kia Philippines showcased its K2500, a light-duty truck, at the Manila Foods and Beverages Expo, held from June 15 to 19, 2022. Kia's participation at the MAFBEX is part of the Kia K2500 Cargado Caravan 2022 to promote this versatile lineup of light commercial vehicles. Various configurations of the K2500 were showcased at MAFBEX. These included the K2500 Cargo that Kia says is aimed at caterers, the K2500 refrigerated van for perishable cargoes, and the K2500 4x4 double cab drop site for agricultural goods suppliers. The K2500 and Shuttle service guides was also made available for test drives on site. Kia also arranged to have a BPI representative at its booth to facilitate easy and convenient transactions for financing. Isuzu Philippines is celebrating another milestone after the Travis light truck reached the 10,000th sales mark. Launched towards the end of 2019, the Isuzu Travis quickly became a popular choice for business owners nationwide. The 10,000th Travis customer, Microserver 8 Enterprises, was feted by Isuzu Philippines, led by its president Noboru Murakami, during a ceremonial turnover. According to Jeremy Pag-ong, purchasing head of Microserver 8 Enterprises, they have been using the Travis since 2021 and have been receiving very good feedback from drivers nationwide. The Travis is truly one of the best profit partners, she said. To celebrate the milestone, they launched a series of promotions for existing and potential Travis customers. Until August 31, IPC will be giving away 10,000 liters worth of fuel in a raffle to the first 500 customers nationwide who will purchase or reserve a Travis unit.
And that's the week that was in motoring. Thank you for joining us. Also, please don't forget to check us out on social media.
Until next week here on Motoring Today, now on its 36th year of continuing service to the general motoring public with a lifelong commitment to promote road safety. On behalf of our dad, Butch Gamboa, I'm Ray Louie Gamboa.
And I'm Susie Gamboa. Happy motoring!